Hey everybody, it's Dane with Aspire. We're going to start our third and final cycle for this first 6 week stretch. We've really enjoyed what we've been seeing so far. We're really excited to dig into the last one. So, as a quick refresher, the cycles we've had in the past have focused on the beginning of lessons and the end of lessons. Now we're going to focus on the middle of lessons. Same drills before. For this week, due February 10th, you're going to work with this worksheet, the middle of lessons resource. You're going to look at those this week, and then you're going to plan a lesson in this lesson plan. And all of that is due February 10th. And then next week, you're going to teach this lesson at some point. You're going to record it and go react, put your comments and go react, and then reflect on it, just like we've been doing. We do have some new people in our group, so this will be the first time you've gone through a cycle. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me or Leslie. We'll definitely help you through it. Like I said, this one focuses on the middle of lessons. What do we mean by that? If you hit this resource, middle of lessons, a resource will take you to this document. We know that the middle of lessons is going to look totally different for each of you, likely. Some of you might do the I do, we do, you do, which is kind of tried and true. Some of you might do inquiry, where you sort of start at the end and then work your way backward. Some of you might do something in between. Some of you, your lessons might be different every day. There's no right or wrong answer. We do want you to think a little bit about why you structure the lessons you do and what are the advantages for you and your students. And then we do want you to do a deep dive into two strategies we see as important factors in the middle of the lesson. One is reading strategies, and the other is student talk strategies. We've got some questions for you. But in terms of exploring the resources, we're going to differentiate a little bit between lower elementary and then upper elementary, middle, and high school. It's sort of up to you what you want to choose. Like if you teach fifth grade, you could probably go with lower elementary, or you could go with the upper elementary. It's sort of up to you what you want to choose. But if you're in like middle or high school, definitely do the middle high school stuff. If you teach kindergarten or first grade, definitely do like the lower elementary stuff. But here's what we got. We have an article on how smart readers think for some of our older our teachers who teach older students. We have some pre-reading strategies. So what are some things you could do before you even start reading with your students to activate some knowledge so they're ready to read? And then some during reading strategies. What can they be doing during the reading to help keep track of their meaning? I know these are literacy strategies, but we see all teachers as the literacy teachers. Science, math, all of that can be supported by these strategies. Word problems you could even dissect in math, or you could read a text that has something to do with math, science, readings from a textbook or whatever. You could definitely use it with that. So any type of reading works here. You don't have to be a reading or a literacy teacher. All teachers are literacy teachers, and we want you to try these on regardless of what you teach. Cool, so give all those a look if you choose this track. If you're lower elementary, we have a PDF from our elementary ally, Julia. She created it, and she sort of walks you through teaching reading to lower elementary students. On the last slide, she talks about some stuff, but there is like an icon to where we could hear some audio. That won't work based on the PDF I downloaded. I don't think it's that important that you missed that, but I just wanted to flag that. As you walk through that PDF presentation, Julia in there will refer you to pages within this reading. So you'll be working in this PDF a little bit. You might pop over, read some stuff here, go back to the PDF, pop over back. That's kind of what that looks like. And then everybody, I want you to read this article on teacher awareness. There's an interesting point in there where the author says that most teachers think they talk about 40 to 50% of the lesson, when in reality they talk about 80% of the time in a lesson. So the teacher does about 80% of the talking, the student does 20. It's just an interesting article, and then we have a couple questions in the worksheet to have you reflect on that. And then we want you to choose a student talk strategy and layer that onto your lesson. So let's go to the actual worksheet. Probably easy to walk through here. Everybody, I'd like you to ask these questions about how the middle of the readings go for you. And then here with the reading strategies, if you chose that upper track, we want you to choose a pre-reading strategy and a during reading strategy and answer some questions about it. If you chose the lower elementary track, we have some questions from that 5 components of reading instruction around these components. Just want you to answer a few questions there. And then everybody's going to choose a student talk strategy and answer a few questions about that. So when you're done with this worksheet, of course, you're going to go to the lesson plan. We want you to actually plan the lesson. Please make it clear within here in the body of the lesson where you're using the pre and during reading strategies as well as student talk, or if you're the elementary track, where you're using the 5 components of reading and that student talk strategy. For those of you who are in this lesson plan for the first time, you don't have to fill out everything exactly the way we're looking for it. Language demands, just kind of want to know what's the major language demand, what's the purpose of the language. Don't worry about brick and mortar. And then down here, just some best practice on differentiation, assessment, things like that. We ask you a few questions on that. So again, looking back at this week, we're focusing on the middles. This worksheet, which is informed by this resource, as well as this lesson plan, are due by Sunday, February 10th, 2019. And then we want you to teach the lesson you plan here the following week, record it, reflect upon it. Cool, let us know if you have any problems or any questions or anything. We're really excited to see what you produce, as always. Thanks.